Hello everyone. This is Chaff Commander Coffee, back with another episode of Civilization 4, Realism Invictus. And, well, you may have noticed in my Mongolia campaign that when I start my episodes, the victory conditions screen pops up. Now, this is actually just because my recording button, or to start recording, is the same hotkey as victory conditions, but it's actually quite handy, because it means at the start of every episode you guys get to see how each sort of leading civilizations are coming in terms of the victory conditions. So just a quick rundown. Conquest, you have to eliminate all rival civilizations. There are currently 8 left in the game. No one's been destroyed yet. Domination, you have to own 36% of the world's population and 60% of the world's land area. Currently the Carthaginians have the highest population, and Kublai Khan probably has the highest sort of percentage towards land area. One of the creative civilizations in the game, so that makes sense. Cultural, 3 cities with legendary culture. We can see ours here. Persepolis is our highest cultural city, being our capital and our only city. Mongolia is coming first, with Karakorum up to 356 and Beshbalik up to 56. They are creative, and it does tell us that they've also built another city. And then Space Race, which is the Apollo program. You have to build a space rocket and send it into space. The Space Race will not come into play until much later, so we don't need to worry about that right now. What we do need to worry about right now is potentially how we're going to expand. Now, I've had a few ideas. Firstly, we've got to fight off the barbarians and make our lands safe. And we've just discovered bronze working, which is great. We do not want to get bronze working just yet. What I would like to get is grab mining for slavery. Now, I do want to get horses, because we do actually have the possibility to get horses with one of our early cities. I would also like to get trade for those commercial plantations. There's a few different things I would like to work towards. I think the best thing to get right now would be probably architecture. Get ourselves cottages. After that, probably horseback riding, but I'm not sure yet. Maybe architecture, then trade, then horseback riding and mining. I think that's a pretty solid set of technologies. Let's kill those barbarians over there and carry on building this mine. And move these guys back up onto that hill to protect that worker. Okay, so we finished this mine. I would like to build another one over here. But right now we're currently working these many tiles. Yeah, getting those spices online would be excellent. If I moved over to food, we wouldn't get the granary built in time, so I'd like to focus on getting that granary constructed. We will need to chop this forest to get a commercial plantation here, so I'm actually going to move that worker over there to start chopping that. Right, so let's start chopping that forest, and let's move these guys over here. That way we can engage any of the barbarians that sort of move into our lands. I would like to keep that mine protected. Let's just move this guy back to the city. It's a good job they didn't actually smash our farm there. There's actually 3 barbarians on this tile. So we're going to need to engage them with this militia. Try to kill this archer off. And we're also going to need to engage with our spearmen here. Excellent, we didn't lose him. Right, let's put him back on fortify. And let's get our archer to finish off this primitive. Excellent stuff. And then our worker can come out here and just start chopping that again. Start chopping that tile. Give our archer land tactics as well. And give this this militia. I think I will just give them flat combat boosts right now, so they get a bonus against both kinds of barbarians that are likely to show up. Okay, good stuff. And those primitives were not too difficult to dispatch either. Now we can start training the Carthaginians, which are our short swordsmen. I would like to get some of those, but I would also like to get our immortals. So let's build a barracks. What we want to do is now work on food, so we can get Persepolis up to size 5. Let's move him back over the river, possibly up to this hill here and get a mine there as well. We do want to get architecture for cottages. Let's move this spearman down here onto our farm. We're about to be attacked by these savages. Good stuff, we managed to defeat them. Now I've got a savage bowman and a savage there. I'm going to have these guys just heal up for a turn on that spot and have this worker move back over to that forest and start cutting that. And we're going to have to fight these barbarians on this hill. Could probably... ooh. Now the barbarians want to protect their archer in case of this attack. So we may lose the mine here. Let's make this attack and see how it goes. Good, good. We managed to win that. Now, if I move this archer back into the city, that should actually give our infantry here. He's got now ranged aid 2. It will give him an extra first strike, so we'll try and win this. Good stuff. Perfect. Right, and then this archer can move out onto that tile. You can just cross the river there and start cutting that forest down again. You need to heal up. You can garrison. You can heal up right there. Oh no, our pasture's been destroyed. Oh, that's a blast of pain, that is. Thankfully, Persepolis has still managed to grow. So now we're going to swap over to a production focus. And this worker can now move over there and get those pigs back online. And Shaka has researched writing and is now willing to open borders, which is pretty handy. So let's get open borders with the Unguni. Because of that, I want to swap out of architecture and start researching something else. Now, we are going to need writing to get trade. Let's take a look at what we could get a tech diffusion on. Get a tech diffusion on fishing, but I think writing would be best, because then we can open borders with more civilizations. Possibly get a further... Ah, and the Carthaginians will open borders as well. Let's open borders with them, and get a further tech diffusion on more of our bonuses there. Let's get rid of those barbarians on that hill tile. Perfect. And this archer's now leveled up. I'm going to give this archer city garrison rather than bonus against barbarians. That will make him a bit more useful as the game progresses. Let's kill this barbarian down. Ooh, actually, let's get this spearman to kill these barbarians. A lot of barbarians causing us problems. Now I would like to fog bust up here with a couple of scouts, so we can just, you know, cut down the amount of barbarians coming from that general location. That's probably something I will focus on doing. And we've got a barbarian battering ram coming out over here. I could just kill that with my archer. I don't think we need to move on those units particularly. Let's move back into Persepolis, and we've got writing. That's good. Right, now what else can... Let's just start researching weaving. What I want to do actually though is try and get open borders with more nations. Neither the Mongolians or the Vikings wish to open borders, so let's see what we get a 45% tech diffusion on. We get 45% tech diffusion on fishing there. So let's grab fishing. Just stretch our research out a little bit. And we are going to get rid of this barbarian. Battering ram. Okay, and now we're going to give this militia a combat promotion. Just guard our lands there, and move them back into the city and just wait a turn. We're being attacked all over the Empire by filthy barbarians, but we managed to beat them. And now we can start training our immortals, since we've now finished our barracks. So let's get those 4 immortals, and then we can start thinking about possibly waging a war against the Carthaginians, capturing some of their cities. Let's get rid of those barbarians there. Some more primitives coming to attack us. Move back over the river and start chopping. We'll give another combat promotion to this militia. And we just discovered fishing. Good. Oh, we can actually get mining, a 45% tech diffusion on mining. That would actually not be bad at all. That would be pretty useful. We can get another mine up over here. So let's move these guys up there. Now the immortals are strong enough they can actually defend any of our tiles by themselves against whatever barbarians happen to show up. The immortals are actually protecting the city against these barbarian archers. Okay, and they managed to win. That's good stuff. So we got a little bit of extra experience there. I'm going to give them City Raider, assuming that we are going to attack the Carthaginians, and I'm going to just try and level them up as much as possible by fighting these barbarians. Get another experience point there, which is quite handy. Let's get a mine up there. And we can attack this unit here. 90% chance to win. I like those odds. Wow, that took a long time. Wow, and our immortal was almost killed in that fight. That is pretty worrying. But he did level up, so that's always worth the combat experience. Let's move these 2 units to get rid of that barbarian there. Just keep building that mine. Taoism's been founded in a distant land. It's actually quite interesting that Taoism was the first religion to be founded. Let's move him up onto that hill. Good stuff, so we managed to protect our farms again. We've got another immortal here. Let's give him City Raider and move him up onto this hill. We're just trying to protect as much of our land as possible. What we'll need to do is start building an army. We're going to want a ram, possibly 2. I think we can have, how many men? We can have 7 men on a tile, so we can have our 4 immortals and then a ram, an archer and a militia. I think that's probably our best mix of units there. And we'll bring along probably a group of 6 Kardakes and another ram and see if we can't capture any of the yeah, capture ourselves some Carthaginian cities. I'm going to drop my tech because I don't want to be losing gold right now. In fact, I might start gaining a small amount of gold in case we get a random event which causes us to have to destroy. Oh dear, oh, the primitives managed to capture our worker. That's a massive pain in the ass, that is. Let's leave this unit there to defend and have these guys move over the river and just kill those primitives. I'm gonna have to build another worker now. I'm not gonna worry about building another worker right now because we actually have enough improvements to work on, and this tile's quite good to work even if it's not currently improved. So I'm gonna leave him on that tile to protect that, and just have our immortals sort of gather up over here. Oh no, we don't want to delete our immortals. And then let's have our immortals just engage these barbarians on this hill. Easy win. So barbarians still coming in from every side, but that's fine. We're able to hold them off without too many troubles. Let's kill that barbarian there, just get some more experience on our units. We're defending against quite a lot of barbarian attacks from every front, but we're doing a good job of it. But now that our army is actually being built up quite significantly, it's costing us quite a lot of gold. But we have our second great general here. What I'm going to do is, I'm probably going to add both these great generals to our army here. There's a little bit of a trick to that, because in Standard Civilization 4, I did forget this in my last campaign actually, you guys might have noticed. In Standard Civilization 4, you want your great generals to add to the armies when it's just one unit, so that all the experience they grant goes to that one unit so you can level them up. Now in Realism Invictus, great generals provide more experience the more units in their tile. So you actually want your great generals to be adding to a large force. And then the ram, I think that's a good choice there. And we've entered the classical era, which gives us mining. Now mining also gives us access to slavery, so I'm actually going to swap to despotism and slavery. The main reason I'm swapping to slavery is because our commercial plantations actually get a bonus from slave markets, and because we have access to horses quite close by, I would definitely like to get some cavalry to be able to protect our lands from any slave incursions. Now weaponsmithing would be great, so would road building, sailing, trade, horseback riding, all good techs that we want. But we'll try go for the ones that we have tech diffusion on. Some rebelling slaves there. Thankfully our units who are experienced at fighting barbarians are also experienced at fighting the slaves. So that's quite handy to note that our army's still gonna, those militia that are upgraded to fighting barbarians are gonna be relevant against the slaves as they revolt around our empire. Now what we want to do is get our capital, and we actually want to build a slave market very quickly. And something that has just happened is Gustav II Adolf of the Vikings has declared war on Kublai Khan, which is a little worrying. I'm not going to train. Ooh, I would like to train all these Carthaginians, but we need to get more of an economy going. So I think after that militia, we're going to build a couple of workers. There's our architecture. We can start getting cottages. Mysticism wouldn't be a bad thing to get to discover a few more resources. Yeah, let's get mysticism. It's the tech that we have the most tech diffusion on. I'm actually going to use these guys to kill that barbarian, since the militia are actually better at it. So we've got quite a powerful army now building up. Apparently we're not as powerful as the other nations, but I beg to differ. Kublai Khan. Oh, a heroic gesture of mercy by Mongolian forces towards the Vikings has brought an unexpected opportunity for peace. So they actually declared peace through an event as opposed to what you might normally expect. Now this army's actually ready to move out and start messing up someone's day. I will move into those barbarians there. And what I want to do as well is grab both my great generals and actually attach them to that force. So let's have them heal up whilst we move the great generals over. I want to add this one to our highest level immortal. I want to add this one to our second highest level immortal. And then we should have a pretty experienced force here. I'm going to give our battering ram City Raider 2, 3, City Raider 3. This immortal I'm going to be giving a load of City Raider promotion and probably experience from combat. And then this guy's going to get the same. He's going to go for City Raider first though. So these immortals are now absolute crack units for attacking cities. I'm going to give this militia is going to be incredibly strong versus archery units, and this archer I'm going to give a bunch of city garrison promotions, so we can actually protect the city once we capture it. So let's start moving down on the Carthaginians. Now I would actually like to hit their capital first. If I can knock out their capital immediately, that would be the best result for us. Okay. Now this is something I forgot about. Carthage currently likes us because of our open borders agreement with them. I'm not. Do I care? Let's move through their lands. Let's have a little explore through their lands. I want to see how well defended Carthage is. We just got mysticism. Let's grab weaving. Right, they've got 3 Libyan archers in Carthage. We got another worker out, which is good. We're going to need that extra worker. And he can move over there to start building that land up. We've got some slaves in Persepolis who are rebelling. We'll see where they end up moving to. Hadrumentum here is not very well defended, and there's a worker here that we could capture, so what I'm now going to do is break my open borders. We'll be declaring war on Carthage next turn. Right, managed to beat those slaves, and beat those barbarians as well. Right, let's declare war on Carthage. Now, there's something I should have mentioned. Carthage is one of the few nations, along with the Egyptians as well, that at woodworking, they get strength 4 units, which is kind of OP. Oh, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, we met Timur of the Transoxiana Empire. Wow. Great, the great Timurid Empire there. But anyway, we're going to now attack Hadrumentum, see how well we can do here. Managed to chop that forest, which is good. Now we need to build a bunch of cottages, because we need to start getting that kind of economy rolling. I think a potter's workshop could help as well. So let's get a cottage up there. We won't cottage the spices. I normally would, but that's not a good idea since we can just build our commercial plantation. Now there's 2 Libyan archers. Can our great generals beat them? Only 68% chance. How about our militia here? Well, we will use the militia to try and soften them up. And if we win, well, I mean, that's also a good... Yep, that's a pretty good result. No damage. We did win. Then I will use one of my other... Let's see, do I chance it? Do I chance it with the immortals? It's a pity that they settled on a hill. And it's actually going to make the city easier to defend, but we'll attack with one of the other immortals, not the great generals. Just in case we do lose. Oh wow, we actually managed to win. Wow, that's perfect. We managed to capture Hadrumentum. Now there is there's cattle here. Not in a terrible spot. I will actually install a governor here. And we'll grab the rest of our units and move them onto that hill. Now we actually managed to get a slave because we are using slavery as a civic. So that's always nice. It looks like the Carthaginians have actually expanded towards us. Let's move them there and just hold them in that spot right there. Let's move these guys into Hadrumentum. Have them heal up. These two workers are going to be moving as a group, just building us cottages. I think after this Potter's Workshop, we want to get a army of Carthaginians. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we want an army of Carthaginians to just soften up the defences of Carthage. If Carthage is willing to make peace for losing a city, then I will probably accept that. Is Carthage willing to make peace? They will make peace. I accept. And we're going to just slowly capture all of the Carthaginian cities. I think that's the plan. We could get philosophy. We've got 30% tech on that. Road building, 30% tech transfer is good. Grab a storyteller circle in Hadrumentum. And what we'll want to do is now cut the... Or we can grab the... we'll use the slave to help us build improvements for now. Let's build some cottages along this grassland here. And I want Hadrumentum to be growing, primarily. And we have discovered that there is another city of Carthages right here. We've got Hippo. Let's kill these barbarians. Just keep those barbarians out of our lands. Right, so that unit's now actually quite badly wounded. Our great generals are managing to beat off these barbarians and getting some... Well, they might not be getting any experience from it, unfortunately. But we'll see. We'll see if they did. Doesn't look like they did. One of our great generals is actually very close to leveling up again, which is good. The Mongolians want us to help them fight the Vikings. Well, actually, I think not. I think not. Let's build our army of Carthaginians, and then I think we're going to be in a very good spot to wipe the Carthaginians off the face of the earth. But that may have to wait for another episode, because here we are, the most cultured civilizations of the world, and Kublai Khan is the most cultured, which might mean that he's the only creative leader in the game currently. Which would be interesting. But either way, it's been me, Chaff Commander Coffee. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.